Hello from Dhaka, this is Tahmina Nupur and you are watching BSS News. At first, the headlines. Attorney General seeks political parties pledge to formulate Anti-Discrimination Act. Political parties must take firm stance on Awami League, says Shafiqul. Election Commission to register 16 more local poll observer bodies. Long-awaited Titipara underpass opens to traffic. Trump gives Hungary's Orban 1-year Russia oil sanctions reprise. Now the details. Attorney General seeks political parties pledge to formulate Anti-Discrimination Act. Attorney General Md Asaduzzaman today urged all political parties to pledge support for enacting an Anti-Discrimination Act. He said political parties should not expect votes unless they commit to formulating a strong law, as a vague act cannot ensure justice. He also said that it is needed to push the Law Commission and the Ministry of Law to take action in this regard. The Attorney General also addressing as chief guest a civic dialogue on formulating an Anti-Discrimination Act this afternoon at the Bangladesh-China Friendship Exhibition Center in the capital. The event was organized by Citizens Platform for SDGs Bangladesh, Bangladesh Legal Aid and Service Trust BLAST, and Citizens Initiative with support from UNDP and the Embassy of Switzerland. Citizens Platform convener and CPD Distinguished Fellow Dr. Devopriyo Bhattacharya presided over the dialogue. Political parties must take firm stance on Awami League, says Shafiqul. Chief Advisor's Press Secretary Shafiqul today urged all political parties to take a firm and unified stance against the fallen fascist Awami League, terming its recent activities an existential threat to the country's democratic future. He was addressing a policy dialogue organized by Trace Consulting on how political parties can use technology to reflect citizens' aspirations in their election manifestos. The event was held at a hotel in Dhaka. Shafiqul said all political parties must take a clear position on Sheikh Hasina and the Awami League, as her recent remarks labeling participants of the July uprising as terrorists are deeply alarming. He said such statements pose a serious threat to national politics, as branding citizens as terrorists mark them as expendable. Referring to journalist Inayatullah Khan's writing, Shafiqul said Sheikh Mujibur Rahman once made 65 million collaborators, and now his daughter is calling 180 million people terrorists. Bangladesh, he said, is facing an existential political crisis, and all parties must unite to protect democracy. On the upcoming national election, the press secretary said the government is fully committed to holding the polls in the first half of February, and there should be no uncertainty about it. The dialogue was attended by leaders from major political parties, diplomats, election experts, civil society members, and academics. Election Commission to register 16 more local poll observer bodies. The Election Commission has decided to grant registration to 16 more local organizations to observe the 13th Jatiyo সংসদ elections scheduled for the February 2026. The decision was announced today in a public notice signed by Senior Secretary of the Election Commission Secretariat Akhtar Ahmed. According to notice, any objection or claim regarding the registration of these observers organizations must be submitted in writing to the Senior Secretary of the Election Commission Secretariat at Agargaon in Dhaka within 15 working days by 27th November. The newly approved organization include Ashro Jati Gori, Netrokona Social Development Organization of the Rural Poor, Help Center for Human Rights Foundation, Kearneygunj Human Resources Development Society, Ditto Mohila Unnayan সংস্থা, Rural Economic Social Development Organization, Rustic, Bashte Shekha People's Association for Social Advancement, International ASF Legal Aid Foundation, Manav Unnayan Kendra, Bangladesh Society for the Change and Advocacy Nexus, Jubo Academy, Shariatpur Development Society, and Women Entrepreneurs Association of Bangladesh. Earlier, on 6 November, the Election Commission granted registration to 66 local observer organizations. Long-awaited Titipara underpass opens to traffic. The government today opened the long-awaited Titipara underpass to traffic, easing travel for thousands of commuters in Dhaka after a long closure. Special Assistant to the Chief Advisor of the Ministry of Railways, Dr. Sheikh Moinuddin, inspected the underpass in the morning and ordered to be opened for public use. Bangladesh Railways Director General Md Asaduzzaman confirmed the development to the national news agency Bangladesh Sanbad Sanstha. He said the underpass connects Satish Dipankar Road with Kamalapur Outer Circular Road, replacing the previous Titipara level crossing to ensure smooth movement of both trains and road vehicles. Constructed under the Podda Bridge Rail Link project, the underpass took nearly 2 years to complete. During that time, the route remained closed, causing more inconvenience for residents, students, and office goers. The new underpass is about 350 meters long and 35 meters wide, with 6 lanes. 4 for motor vehicles and separate lanes for rickshaws, bicycles, and pedestrians. Mohammad Afzal Hossain said trains will now move above while road traffic passes below without interruption. Modern drainage systems and rainwater pumps have been installed to prevent waterlogging, he added. The construction cost of the Titipara underpass was approximately 90 crore taka. Trump gives Hungary's Orban 1-year Russian oil sanctions reprieve. United States President Donald Trump has granted Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban a 1-year exemption from sanctions on buying Russian oil and gas. The decision came after the two close allies held a meeting at the White House on Friday. Trump imposed sanctions on Russia's two largest oil companies in October, blaming President Vladimir Putin for continuing the invasion of Ukraine. However, he said Hungary deserved special consideration as it is a landlocked country dependent on pipelines for energy supplies. Hungarian Foreign Minister later said Washington had granted a full exemption, but a White House official clarified that the waiver would last only 1 year. The official also said Hungary agreed to purchase United States liquefied natural gas worth around $600 million. During the meeting, Viktor Orban emphasized that pipelines were a physical necessity for Hungary, not a political issue. He also said it would take a miracle for Ukraine to defeat Russia. President Donald Trump, meanwhile, praised Viktor Orban and urged European leaders to show more respect for Hungary's stance on migration. Orban has long maintained close ties with both Moscow and Washington, often clashing with European Union over issues such as the rule of law and Ukraine's European Union membership bid. Experts say the meeting provided a symbolic boost for Orban, who faces a major political challenge ahead of Hungary's national election next spring. That's all for today. For more information, visit bssnews.in. Thanks for watching.